Hi, my friends. It's Liz here for Inspirational Thursday on behalf of Class Act. I'm just going to plug my phone in so it doesn't die halfway through. Give everybody a couple minutes to join in, and then we will start. So, yay. Hey, Carol. Thanks for joining me tonight. Here's what I'm going to be working with, so I'm pretty excited for that. Wonder if there's a way to move this cord. There we go. So I don't knock my camera around again. Good evening. And I'm back. There we go. Okay. So yes, I will be making some, I think, cards this evening using this beautiful Paper Rose rainbow garden collection, Rainbow Twirl. They have a whole series of like rainbow paper, and as soon as I saw it, I thought to myself I really wanted to play with it, so that's what I'll be using. Hi, Linda. So yes, I have here the 6x6 Garden Basics pack, along with a set of the embossed die cuts. I chose these because they punch out, and I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of time today fussy cutting. I also have this really cool die set from Cherry Lynn Designs. It is an A2 Fancy Step card kit, so I'm going to be using this as well. Oh, hi Shirley. Thanks, Carol. Yes, I'm glad to be back. And then I have the Craft Perfect mirror cardstock. This one I chose, it's called Petal Pink, but I chose it because it's got that like holographic rainbow. So, you know, when working with rainbow paper, you need rainbow colored foil. So that's pretty much all the ingredients I'm using tonight. Hi, Kim. This die set looks interesting. Yeah, I thought so too. So I felt like tonight was my night to like bring it out and see what I could make with it. So fingers crossed. I think we can come up with something. And then I think I want to make like a few cards as well while I'm at it. So we'll see how things go. Yay. Okay, it is 7:30, so I'm just gonna hop right into things. So again, these are all the items that I'm working with. I have linked them on our website, so if you guys go to classact.ca, click on shop and Inspirational Thursday, it will bring you to everything and then some for tonight's video. So definitely check that out. It will also bring you to a link for YouTube after this video where I upload it. So if you guys prefer watching videos on YouTube, that might be an option. Happy birthday, Sandra! Thanks for joining. I hope you're having a good one. Okay. So first things first, I pre-selected a couple papers that I thought were really pretty, starting with this gnome and this rainbow, and then I also got some little die cuts punched out, so I got these ones here, and I thought I would make an easel folded card with you guys because I wanted to show some different fun folds and see what we could do with that. So I'm gonna set all of my material off to the side here, and we'll start by assembling an easel card base. So essentially how you do an easel card base is you're gonna cut, like you're gonna, one second. It's easier to just show you guys. So you're gonna take a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, like this. You're gonna fold it in half like this. So a hamburger fold. And then you're gonna cut that in half. Then you will end up with a card base that looks like this. Now you will score it on one side here. Let me grab my ruler. Ah, yes. You will score it at the 2 3/4 inch mark. And then you will end up with something like this. For this panel, you're just going to cut a piece of cardstock to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and that's going to be the front of our easel. So this is how I created the card base. So now all I have to do is assemble it, and I'm going to do that using some double-sided adhesive, starting with this part here. So I'm just going to add adhesive to this bottom rectangle here. There we go. Okay. Perfect. So Sandra, did you do anything exciting for your birthday? Did you go out for dinner, have cake? All the important things inquiring minds want to know. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this panel and I'm going to adhere it, line it up to the bottom, and tack it down. So then I end up with something that looks like this from the side, and then we'll open like this, like an easel. So with this brilliant little ephemera, I'm going to take some pop dots and tack it right down to the bottom. And that's going to hold my easel up. So when the recipient opens the card, they have a little something that will keep things in place, and then they can display it. So now it's a matter of figuring out how tall I want my easel to be. Do I want it like super tall? Do I want it kind of like that? And so you just kind of pick like a height that you like, and then that's going to be how it's going to land for my easel card. Ooh, cheesecake. That's exciting. Okay. So originally I picked both of these cardstocks, but I'm kind of thinking I want to do definitely the rainbow for the background. So again, I'm just going to use my handy dandy paper trimmer, and I will be cutting this at the 4 1/4 mark, and then cut it to be 5 1/2. So it means I'm losing this blue chunk down here, but I'm okay with that. So there we go. And now that's going to be our card base once I stick that on. Makes sense. And then I also really love these little gnomes, but yes, I do love the gnomes. I'm going to use them too. So for these guys, I'm going to cut them to be, let's do 3 3/4, so that I get a nice sort of border on my card. And then I'm going to do, let's do the 5-inch mark as well. Just enough to get some little gnome feet. Look at this cute strip I'm left over with. How sweet is this paper? Okay, so now I just have to stick everything down and embellish it. So I'm just going to lay the base flat and add some adhesive, I think directly onto the back of these guys. So look at the backs of these too. Aren't they sweet? This one has some umbrellas, and then this one is just like a really pretty sort of rainbow. I love this paper. So essentially my idea for tonight was to use this pretty paper to make a bunch of different fun fold cards, or just different kinds of cards. So that's what we're attempting to do. For those of you joining, thank you very much for taking time out of your schedules to spend some time with me. It's good to be back. All right. So there we go. I have now added my adhesive. Gonna peel that off. It's funny because tonight Richard's at work, my mom went out for dinner, and Fred was actually kind enough to take Conrad somewhere, so hopefully they're having fun, but I have the house all to myself. It's kind of weird. I'm not complaining though. Gives me a chance to craft, which is always a good thing. Okay, so now I'm just gonna line this base up with the card base and tack it down. So now when I pop my easel, it's gonna look like that. But more is more, so I'm also gonna add my little gnomies. It's so quiet. Frighteningly quiet here. That's okay, I still have the dog and the cat to keep me company. And you guys, of course. Gosh, what am I thinking? If it weren't for you guys, I'd be so lonely right now. I wouldn't know what to do with myself. So there we go. I'm gonna use a corner rounder and round out the corners of this little gnome card front. Why? Because I feel like it would look cute. Should have done it before I stuck everything on, but that's okay. There. I think that just like softened it right up. And now I'm just gonna place this center-ish on the front of the card, like so. And last but not least, I'm going to use some pop dots and pop this. Am I gonna use pop dots or am I gonna use? I think I'm gonna use a wobble actually, and like have this guy sort of wobbly on the front. So if you guys have never used these before, these are called wobbles. They are essentially little springs. So they make your card sort of fun and interactive. So that's what I'm gonna do with this. So I'm just gonna place one side on here and peel off the backing to the other side. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. There we go. Peel off the backing. Sort of roughly place it where I want it to be. And then, as you can see here, it like wobbles because it's on a spring. So now we have our first super fun, interactive display card. And it was quick and easy. So ta-da, there's an easel card for you. I'm gonna set that off to the side. And for our next sort of fun card shape, I figure a slimline card. So this guy here, I made a card base and it's 3.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And then I got some more beautiful printed cardstock from the Paper Rose Rainbow Garden collection. Linda said, I love being quiet. No radio, no television, just silence. You know what? I do too. It's just so weird because I feel like I haven't had it in so long. So for this one, I saw all these cute little windows in the pack and I thought that would be kind of fun to work with. So that's, I think, where my head is going with this one. I chose this paper here, which this is the back and this is the front. I'm not sure how we're going to do this yet, but I'm thinking of cutting this into 3 inches, maybe 2 3-inch sections, and then using whatever's left over flipping it and using that for the middle. So let's just see where the wind takes us for this one. Okay, so I'm gonna do, what did I say? 3.5, 3.25, because that gives us a 1/4 inch of the white just to go around it. And let's just cut this guy in roughly half. Okay, so that gives us 2 little panels. Now I did not cut it in half, so I'm going to line it up again to make sure they're the same size. Because, you know, measure twice, cut once. Psh, what even is that? Not for me, I tell ya. Okay. So, thinking maybe those panels like that. And then with this leftover flower piece, I'm going to do like a 3.25 inch in this as well. And I think I want to keep the pinks. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, now I stick everything down once again. So yeah, if you guys have never tried a slimline before, which I'm sure most of you have, but if you haven't, they're kind of a fun size. You can mail them out in like business size envelopes, and they're quite fun. I don't do a lot of slimlines, which is probably why my head was like, hey, that counts as a different style. And then this guy, I'm gonna apply my tape on this side. There we go. Okay, now I just have to roughly figure out, you know what, I'm just gonna start taping these 2 sides together, and then whatever happens, happens. I'll figure out the middle part after. Sometimes it's fun to just create without really thinking too hard about things, which is kind of the mood I'm in tonight. It's been a really long day. Thank goodness it's Thursday, because the weekend is coming. So that's always fun. If anybody has any big plans this weekend, feel free to comment. I do not think we do. And if we do, I'm already forgetting. Maybe go swimming with Conrad. He's been in swimming lessons every Sunday morning as well, so we'll definitely be doing those. You know, just a nice kind of chill Sunday around the area, I guess. There. So I'm just leaving a bit of a border at the sides and the top and the bottom. Ooh, Crop and Create is this weekend. How exciting. That is a good way to spend a weekend, let me tell you. Learn new things. Get some awesome instructors. Awesome new products. That sounds like a really nice way to spend a weekend. Okay, and I'm just going to do my best to center that piece as well. And there we have my slimline card front. So now I just have to figure out where I want to place each window. I'm thinking that looks kind of cute. And then I think I'm going to adhere these two pieces flat and pop the middle one. Because why not? Yeah, I've never done a crop and create myself, but I always hear good things. They sound like a lot of fun. Maybe next time. I think they're only doing like one card making and one scrapbooking one this year. So that is very, very cool of those of you who have signed up. And if you sign up, I believe you get a discount at our store. So also something to look forward to. There we go. Well, it's nice that it's sunny and beautiful. You know what I want to do with my weekend is drag Richard and Conrad somewhere to go check out some cherry blossom flowers. I took Conrad for a walk around the neighborhood the other day, and it was really nice because we have a few trees in the area, but I want to go somewhere like High Park in Toronto because they have some animals there. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, cool. Sandra has said, yes, they have lots of goodies to work with. In the crop and create, which I would love to come check out. I'm available this weekend. There we go. Now, some of my family are going away on a holiday. They're going to Italy and France. And here I am, stuck at home. Crafting away. Not complaining. I hope they have a great time. Sandra says, I can't wait to see what Spellbinders has to offer. Yeah, for the weekender thing, that should be fun. So there we have it. Slimline card and easel card so far. For my next trick, I saw this paper. This is originally what made me want to do it because I just love rainbows. Like, I love all the colors and I just think they are the coolest thing. So I saw this rainbow paper and I knew I had to work with it. I also chose this beautiful rainbow ephemera, this little wreath here, because I think that's really pretty. And I thought to myself, what could I do that's different? So here we have a card base. This was just an 8.5 by 11 sheet that I cut in half. And I'm speedy. So yes, I cut this guy in half and then I folded it on both sides so it will fold in. Now, did I measure this correctly? Absolutely not, because they don't actually meet and touch, but that's okay because I'm going to be covering it with this pretty paper anyway, and nobody's going to know except for you guys and me. So I'm going to cut this one to be 4.25 by 5 inches. Cut this guy, and then I'll be cutting that in half, and that will, like, hopefully, if my math is right, line everything up the way I want it to be. And if not, then it's going to have this super cool gap, and people are going to know to open it that way anyway. So let's just see what happens with this one as well. So again, 4.25 by 5.5. This one I'm going to chop a little off the bottom because I want to keep that like nice dark blue color. And then chop a little off the top so I keep the red and the blue because I love this rainbow. And then, like I said, I'm going to cut this in half. So it's going to be like 2 and a smidge. Is it? Or is it 2? 2¼ no. Math. It's so weird. That doesn't look right. 2 and a smidge. Going with my gut. So these guys should be roughly the same size, and they are. So you're gonna cut it to be 2 and a smidge and hope for the best. And it looks like my plan will work out accordingly. So yay for that. So all I'm gonna do is adhere these guys to the front panels of this card base. I love it when a plan comes together. Like I said, I just saw this paper during the unboxing and I thought to myself, hey, beautiful bright colors. I want to work with that. And then here we are tonight. Unfortunately, I don't get a lot of playtime during the day because I have Conrad around and then he's at school, so I'm chauffeuring him back and forth. But I feel like we had just enough time to like plan out what I wanted to do with these cards. And now it's all working out. So yay for small victories. There we go. Oh, I already did that. Well, make sure it really sticks down. Here we go. Do my best to line it up along the side here before I stick it all down. There we go. Pretty good, pretty good. I'm not mad at this. So for this ephemera, I think if I pop it like on this side, for example, it just makes it look nice. So I'm just gonna use pop dots on one side, and then that way, whoever receives this card will be able to figure out how to open it, is my goal. So just a couple pop dots here. I love these ones because they do have the tab, so it just makes it nice and easy. And voila, our third sort of fun card. Now, again, if I had measured this correctly, this would not be here, but you know, it's good. I'm not upset with it. So yeah, here's what it's gonna look like standing up. I will post a photo afterwards too of all these different cards that we make, just so you guys can check them out. Okay. For this next one, I chose this paper with the pretty little umbrellas. I used the back of this already for the first card. And then again, I saw this one and it's just so pretty and so colorful, and it's got butterflies. So I'm thinking this side probably. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. And then because butterflies, I saw this, so I don't know. So this one, I'm just doing a regular card base for it. I just really love this paper and I wanted to do stuff with it. So now that it's quiet here in my house, I feel like I have a good excuse to use it. I'm thinking just like a nice rainbow background, maybe leave a bit of white around the edge and then cut this. Let's see. What do I want to do? I already used that one. So I'm thinking Yes, I'm thinking this. I'm going to cut this down a little bit and then cut this down smaller and mount it and stick another thing in the center. Yes, that is my plan. So, now I have to decide which colors I'm willing to lose. I feel like I want to keep the blues and the pinks and stuff because it just screams rainy to me. So I'm going to cut it at the 4 1/4 mark, 4 1/4 inch mark. And then I'm going to cut, ooh, I don't know, maybe the 5 1/2 inch mark this way and lose a bit of the pink. But I'm ending up with this really pretty thing. But again, I just said I wanted a border, so I lied. I'm going to cut it down to 5 1/4, no, 4 inches. Cut off some of this, and then 5 1/4. Yes. Take some off the blue side. Okay, so this is the panel I'm now ending up with, which is still absolutely stunning. Now this panel here, I'm going to make even smaller. So let's do 3 3/4. And then let's do this maybe at the 5 inch mark. See if I have to trim more of that. Doo-doo-doo. What do you guys think? Should I trim a little bit more? No, I think I like that. Yeah, that works for me. Okay, so this one is just a very basic card. But pretty card, or pretty paper, makes no cards basic. If that makes sense. You can't go wrong when you have nice paper. And I feel like the rainbow is just so appropriate this time of year because it's always like rainy and then it's sunny and it's a lovely time of year. It's spring. Let the paper do the work. Linda, that's a much better way of saying it. Sometimes it is just as simple as you don't need to do fancy folds and use all these fancy things. I mean, fancy things are great, but sometimes simple is good. So there we go. Oh my goodness, why? This one strip just keeps coming off the paper. Okay, weird. Now they're all doing it. There we go. We could be here all night. Okay, this one I'm not going to bother rounding the edges. I think I like the crisp ones on this. There we go. And again, I feel like I'm going to pop this little guy on. Because why not? Grab some more pop dots out of my stash. Here we go. Like, how cute would this paper be for birthdays or different events happening in the spring. Or just because cards, friendship cards, get well soon cards, but there you go. Lovely, lovely. Okie dokes. For our next card, I am thinking, okay, so I'm thinking, here's our card base. Again, it's going to open straight up and down, or we can put another little spin on it and we can fold this edge to the outside like so. And then it'll be sort of like a fun fold card like that. Does that make sense? So basically the same setup as the easel card. Same, but different. So for this edge here, I'm going to use this pretty pastel cloudy part. And then for this guy here, I'm thinking butterflies. I knew I wanted to use the butterflies. Okay. So I'm just going to grab my paper trimmer yet again. Grab my ruler first. So it's going to be 4 1/4 by 2 3/4 for this section. Start with my 4 1/4, and then let's see if I did 2 3/4 here. That's gonna look like that. Yeah, I like that. So that's gonna be that panel. And again, let's just measure before we cut. So it's going to be 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. Hilarious. Okay. So same thing for the butterflies. Let's do 4 1/4. And then 2 3/4. There we go. So we'll end up with something like this. And then this way, when your person opens it, you still have all this room to fill out a lovely message. But it's, again, a little bit different. So just trying to put a different spin on things. Now, looking at this, I'm thinking I'm going to leave this one, the right size, but I might trim like an extra 1/4 inch off of each side for this one. So have some white showing at the front. Don't ask me why. I just think it's going to look good. So line this up towards the edges. There we go. And then this guy, I'm thinking I'm going to trim a 1/4 inch off the side and a 1/4 inch off the top as well. Or the bottom. And okay. This may or may not be regrettable, but I kind of like that look. So you guys can do that or not do that if you choose to recreate these. Totally up to you. My goal is to just help you feel inspired to create something. If I've done that, then I've done my job. And my time was worth it. Okay, I want the butterflies to be sort of flying upwards. So I'll make sure I'll place them in the right direction. So for this card, I could either put that guy there or put that like that. I'm not sure which I want to do. I think I'm going to go with this. And I'm not going to use pop dots this time. I am just going to tape it down flat. Now again, you can use dry as clear glue. You can use whatever method of adhesion you prefer. I know a lot of people like tape runners for like things like this, which I can understand why. It's a lot it's a lot less painful sometimes than watching me do this, but there we go. Ta-da! Kind of a different folded card. So last but not least, I wanted to tackle this really crazy awesome die set to make a fancy step card. So I did go ahead and use my die cutting machine ahead of time to cut this really lovely shape. So here's what it actually cuts out as, and I cut it using that holographic foil. So the next thing I did is I actually observed the photo on the front to figure this out. So here's what it's supposed to look like. So I folded this edge like this, and then this edge just magically starts folding downward. And then this guy also folds inward, so it looks something like that. And then, I don't know if I did this right, actually, now that I'm looking at it again, but we're going to go with it. So then these also had score lines, so I folded them here and here, and I end up with this really cool, possibly incorrect card base. But now all I have to do is decorate it. So isn't it fancy? It reminds me of like Heartfelt. Like, it looks really nice done up. So this is what I ended up with. But I also ended up with all of these super funky additional pieces that I'm probably going to use to go back and decorate some of these other cards with, because I think they are very, very fancy and they go beautifully with this paper. So I'm definitely going to use these extra pieces as well. Look at the flourishes. Here, I'll show you on this card. So here we have like this sort of fancy flourish here. Some corners. I think there are smaller flourishes and smaller corner pieces. So, I mean, for the price, you get quite a good many of things. So I'm going to set them aside. I'm going to decorate my cards again. But yes, here's the card base that we end up with from the step card die. So now all I have to do is decorate it. So I'm thinking of looking through the papers that I have left. Actually, I still have a piece left over, which might be quite a pretty card front here. So maybe I'm just going to use that piece. And then when it's closed, I feel like I should also like decorate the inside maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do the front, keep it simple, and then add like some really cute embellishments. Any comments would be very helpful. I'm not sure what I'm doing right now with this one. So I'm thinking this is going to be pretty much the card front. But now it's like, do I use windows? Do I use More pretty flowers. I don't know what to do with myself. Okay. Let's just take a moment and think. What if did something like that? It's kind of pretty, maybe. But I also like this little window here. So I'm thinking maybe this window. Yes, yes. With like a nice flourish on the top. Yes, okay. Just had to think it through out loud. So, like I said, this is kind of a funky, different card base than I'm used to, but it looks pretty stunning. Especially, I have to say, done up in the foil, like that is nice. Now, if I were cutting a new piece of paper to decorate this, I would just lay it down flat and measure. So it's going to be about 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. It just so happened that this scrap here is the perfect size. Hey, Joanne. There we go. I'm gonna stick this down. And then I'm gonna decorate. I love the blue up at the side here. There we go. So we end up with a card front that's going to look like this. The window, I'm thinking definitely pop dot. But I will say, if you guys are into like flower molding and stuff like that, like how pretty would this be if you added flowers and all kinds of embellishments down at the bottom here? I really like it. Just gonna fold it again, make sure it's like super structurally sound. There we go. Okay, so I'm thinking the window maybe here. And some glue. For this piece here. I'm using the art glitter glue because I love it. But comment what kind of glue you use. There. So pretty. Yes, I like this. So, wipe off some extras. So yeah, all I have to do now is go back and maybe add some bling and embellish these guys. I don't know if I'm going to decorate the sides. I kind of like the white because it picks up on the window as is. As they say, less is more. But I will review all of the fun cards that we have assembled in tonight's video. Starting, I'm just going to cover up my glue. Starting with this guy. So this is the step card that we created using a beautiful die set from Cherry Lynn Designs. Then we have this awesome kind of funky opening rainbow card, which I am definitely going to go back and add some holographic foil embellishments to. We have this one here, which is like a horizontal Z card, I guess they call them. We have our regular card. Love it. A slimline. Again, I guess it's regular, but is kind of fun to make. And then last but not least, we have an easel card that we used a wobble on, just to make it kind of funky. So there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed tonight's video. It was a bit chaotic, but my goal was to help you guys feel inspired. And if this pretty paper didn't do it for you, stay tuned for next week, because I'm sure we have lots of other surprises and cool things up our sleeves. So thank you guys very much for taking time and joining me, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evenings and weekends, and I will see you all next week for unboxing. Have a great time. Bye!